What's up, my friends here at Children's Hospital Colorado? My name is Chris, and I'm hanging out with you on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Now, we just closed our studio doors for the day, but that doesn't mean we're done with our broadcast for the day, because we still have some fun coming your way right now in the form of another edition of Maya's Latest News to keep us in the groove. Mostly me, because I'm just so out of the groove. I need her help. Maya, are you there to help me?
Yes. Hi. And yes, you need the help.
Oh, well, thank you a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But today it's not about me. Who is it about today? Who do we got?
Reid Scott.
We've got Reid Scott on the line with Maya's show. So excited. I could go on, but Maya, I know you got a bunch of questions. Maya, take it away, my friend.
So my first question for you is, do you remember the first moment you knew that you wanted to be an actor?
Yeah, I do. I was very lucky. My grandmother was an English professor, and she sort of got me into reading plays when I was a young kid. And I just really enjoyed the format of reading plays. So probably when I was in junior high, I decided I really wanted to try acting. And she lived in Lake George, New York, and I would spend my summers with her. And there was it was called youth theater. It was a kids theater program. And I tried it out and I just loved it. And I never thought in a million years I would ever do it professionally, but it just kind of kept going. And eventually I met some kids who went off to college to study acting. And I thought, that could be kind of cool. What if I tried that? And it just kind of went from there. It just, it's one of those things. It's been so much fun. I never wanted to stop.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you've been in so many different things. Have you had a favorite project or character that you've played?
Oh man, that's tough. God, I don't know if I've had a favorite. I've had so much fun doing all of them. I think, Veep was really special. Veep was a really, really special show. Just because I got to work with so many incredible people, and it was a show that really made an impact, politically and socially. And that was just an incredible experience. It doesn't happen very often. And to be part of that it meant a lot to me. So I think if I had to pick a favorite, it might be Veep.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you played Justin Miller in one of my all-time favorite movies, Home Again. I watch it all the time. What drew you to this project?
Well, first, I thought the script was great. And I met with Nancy Meyers, who directed movies like Private Benjamin and The Intern and Something's Gotta Give. I met her probably a few years before Home Again. And she and I hit it off. We kind of became buddies. And her daughter, Hallie Meyer, the Shire, who wrote and directed Home Again, reached out and said, I think you and my mom are friends. Would you consider reading the script and being in it? And I read it and I thought it was fantastic. And I loved all the young characters. I thought they were all written so well. And because it was a bit about Hollywood, I thought it was kind of a fun thing. And we just had a really great time playing around. And I tend to like to play those characters that are kind of jerks, but jerks that you also kind of like, I guess, or try to.
Yeah. Yeah. Jerks that you don't want to like, but you still kind of like them. So, yeah. Cool. Yeah. My sister and I just rewatched it. I watched it last week, and then my sister and I watched it. We always watch it when we have a movie night. So we had a movie night a couple weeks ago and watched that. So
nice. That's great.
Yeah, we've probably, I don't know, we've seen it 100 times. So
can I, I'm going to ask you a question now. What do you like about the movie so much? Why is it one of your favorite movies?
I don't know. I like rom-coms. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's I just love everybody in it. I think it's funny and just so good. And yeah, I don't really know how to like explain what it is about the movie, but it's just like we've also watched it so many times that like now it's one of those movies I just watch when I'm kind of in like having like a freak out, like panic attack.
Yep.
I just watch that. So
Isn't that the coolest thing about movies is that sometimes you can't even explain it. It just makes you feel good. And
yeah,
that's you feel like you're hanging out with people after a while. It's just
yeah,
you pop on a movie and it just puts you in a good mood. I love that.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, you also played, I know you also played Dan in the series Veep.
Mhm.
And that show is just so clever and funny. And the whole ensemble cast is just great. And did you do anything special to get into character before filming?
Yeah, we had a long preparation time, which is again really unusual. Usually in television, you're shooting an episode every, week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on the schedule. So you're just trying to churn them out. But Veep again was really special because they gave us a long time to prepare. And we shot the first 4 seasons of Veep in Baltimore, in Maryland, mostly so that, it had a certain look that you kind of can't really fake, that East Coast look. And then it was also because it was close to Washington, D.C. And some of our producers, one of our producers, Frank Rich, was from DC and comes from a big political, movers and shakers kind of family. And so he got us these incredible interviews and experiences all over Washington, DC. We sat down with senators and congressmen and women. We sat down with all of their staffers. We got to do, real research. So you actually felt like you were, really able to get into the role because we got to spend some time with our real life counterparts. And we enjoyed it so much that some of the other actors, namely Tony Hale and Matt Walsh and Tim Simons and I, would continually take, young DC staffers out to dinner or drinks or lunch or a basketball game just to sort of like get to know them more and learn how they speak and learn what their day to day is like. So yeah, I love digging in on a character that way. So to be able to spend some time with, the real life version of whoever you're playing is it's weird. It's really weird. And you hope you're doing them justice and you hope you're doing a good job, but it's really interesting and really fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so did you ever have to do multiple takes of scenes because you were just all cracking each other up?
Every single time. Every time. It was yeah, there was a lot of improvisation too on our show. And so you kind of never and everyone on our show was just so funny and so smart and so talented that when we would do these improvised takes, you never quite knew what was going to come out of someone's mouth. And sometimes it was just so funny that you would just crack up laughing and ruin the whole take, and we'd have to stop and start all over again. But everybody had their turn at cracking up or making someone crack up, but nobody cracked up more than Tony Hale. Nobody.
um, I know that you also played Brando in My Boys, which actually, before I ask that question, I just want to say my mom is a huge fan. She loved Veep and she loved My Boys.
Oh, that's so cool.
So she couldn't believe that I was talking to you today. So I just wanted to let you know that she says hi.
Hi, Mom.
So did I already ask you the question about my boys?
No.
Sorry,
No.
okay. Sorry, I just completely lost
No
my
problem.
spot.
No problem. Happens to me all the time.
um, so, the whole cast and my boys also had great chemistry, and I was wondering what that experience was like.
You know, that was also really incredible. Again, I felt so lucky to be part of that. That was I had done some comedies before then, a couple little shows here and there, 70s show I did an episode of. I did another series that lasted just one season. And I loved comedy, but I never really considered myself to be a comic. I still don't really consider myself to be a true comic. And on My Boys, we had some of the best comedians around. I mean, Jim Gaffigan, who I think is just a legend, he was incredible. Jamie Kaler, who's one of the funniest guys you're ever going to meet. Mike Bunin, who's one of the most brilliant improv comics I've ever seen. And our writers were just great. So it was an amazing education and learning experience for me to be around those guys, men, women, everybody. And also everyone just got along so well. We legitimately all kind of fell in love with each other, became this little family. I still talk to them, all the Betsy Thomas, who created the show, she and Jamie Kaler and Mike Bunin, they all live down the street from me. I see them all the time. Again, it was one of those sort of things, lightning in a bottle. It's so rare to be on a show where you all just click like that. And you never felt like you were going to work. You always felt like every day you showed up on set and you were just hanging out with your buddies, and it was the best.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So can you tell us anything about your upcoming projects?
Yeah. I doing a couple episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm, which again, sort of keeping it in the Seinfeld family, between Julia, Louis Dreyfus, and Veep, and now her buddies from Curb. That's going to be really fun, and super silly, and very weird, which is my favorite kind of comedy. And then there's another series that's coming out called The After Party, which is going to be really fun. Which Sam Richardson, who is also on Veep, he's in that as well. So it's so great. I get to keep seeing my old buddies over and over. And then I'm doing Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which has been really fun. And I love that show.
Cool.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, you feel like you're in a time machine, getting to go back to the early 60s, and all the wardrobe and the sets are so fun. And then also Venom's coming out soon. I know the Marvel movie Venom, Let There Be Carnage, is going to come out. I think it's, oh man, I'm going to get this wrong. I think it's August, but it might be September, and it's going to be wild. That movie is going to be absolutely insane.
Oh, cool. Yeah. My sister loves all the Marvel movies, so
Right.
she's excited for that movie.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's great. Tom Hardy is actually really, really funny. And Woody Harrelson, who's in it, he plays the big bad guy this time, who plays Carnage, is just amazing. It's wild.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So do you have an all-time favorite show?
I have a lot, I think. I don't know. My parents, they exposed my sister and I to some like really great television when we were kids. And I think to this day, I always thought Cheers was just, even when I was a kid, and it was like so much more grown up than I was at the time, I always just thought it was so funny. And again, I think the reason why the show is probably so successful too is you felt like you knew those characters. You felt like they were really, just people, whether it's at the bar or at school or work or whatever, you felt like you were hanging out with a bunch of friends. And I think to this day, the episodes are still just so funny. That's one of my favorites. I love Seinfeld. I love Friends. And you know what? Quantum Leap. I don't know if you got Quantum Leap was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. I love that show.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we I don't think we ever saw the full series, but we saw multiple seasons.
Mhm.
I don't think we saw all of them.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
It's a great show. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then Friends is also one of my favorite shows. So
The best of all time.
yeah. Yeah. So what is your go-to movie when you just want to unwind and relax?
Any Indiana Jones movie. I can put on, Raiders of the Lost Ark is probably my favorite. Last Crusade would be like probably my next favorite. And I grew up on those movies. I remember watching those movies with my dad when I was a kid, and just, I don't know, something about it. I can just watch them, like you were saying with Home Again. I could just watch it on a loop. I could just watch them over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and it just makes me feel good.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I think either, or I know it would either be Home Again, or Shazam is my other favorite movie. So those two are I'm constantly just rewatching them. So
Oh, that's great.
So, what song would you want to have announce your entrance into a room?
You know what? I have two little boys, and so I've taken to teaching them about all the kind of music that I grew up with. And I was playing. I didn't even realize how much I liked this song, so it's sort of a weird story. And I was playing just like an old kind of mixtape that I had, and the song "Rock You Like a Hurricane." You know that song? Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. It's such a.
I think so.
Yeah, it's an '80s like hair band song, and nothing is cuter than seeing my 3-year-old son, walk into the room and say, "Walk you like a hurricane," and it makes me laugh every time. So now, if I was going to enter the room, or I'm a huge baseball fan, so if they were going to play a song for me as I walk to home plate, I think it would be "Rock You Like a Hurricane."
Oh, cool. Yeah. My sister and I, we love 80s music because our mom always plays her 80s music for us, and so we've just become obsessed with it. So
okay, if you can find the video, and I think it's on YouTube or something somewhere, find the video for "Rock You Like a Hurricane" and tell me what the heck you think is going on, because I watch it with my sons and we can't figure out what the video is about. They're all in some weird cage somewhere, and you can't tell, like, are they trying to get out or are people trying to get in? Like, it makes no sense, but it's super weird and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, the 80s music videos are always so fun to watch. So I'm gonna write that down, that I have to listen to or watch the music video. Is there a line from a movie, book, or song that's always stuck with you?
Yeah, I think there's a movie, Braveheart. Have you seen Braveheart?
No, I've heard of it. But
yeah, it's a great, historical kind of adventure movie. And there's a line that's always kind of stuck with me where it says, all men die, but not every man truly lives. And, so the idea that, it's special to be able to say that you did something special or unique or brave or valiant or whatever, because not everybody, has that opportunity. So even sometimes when it feels like things are really tough and you want to give up, you realize, maybe you, in a way, you're fighting a good battle, or you're having an important adventure. And someday that's going to make you, really appreciative that you had that experience. And I try to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. I like that one. So if you could meet any fictional character, who would it be and why?
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know. If I had to, God, if it could be anyone, it's going to be a tie. It's going to be a tie between Sherlock Holmes, because I grew up loving reading Sherlock Holmes when I was a kid, and I love mysteries, and I would just want to pick his brain and figure out, how does he, someone's so smart, how does he figure out all these incredible mysteries? And Dracula, which I know is dark, but I mean, come on, if you could meet someone who's like lived for hundreds and hundreds of years, and is and so creepy and scary at the same time, I think that would be a good interview.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'd go with like any of the Home Again characters or Shazam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Billy Batson. Yeah, the whole Shazam family.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Good call.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, my last question for you is, who do you consider to be a real life superhero and why?
I have two buddies who are doctors, and I got to say, I think they really are superheroes. And especially this last year, seeing everything that we've all been through, with COVID and everything, and how these two buddies of mine have been right there on the front lines, first responders, spending all day, every day in the hospital, helping as many people as they possibly can, and really, not asking or expecting anything in return. That level of bravery and selflessness, to me, that's what defines a hero. And I think all of our doctors and nurses and all of the first responders that we've all witnessed in the last year, those are real superheroes to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also I think my mom and my sister are my superheroes because we've been quarantined together since the beginning, and we're not so for over a year, and we're not sick of each other yet. So there's been no crime scenes here. And so and also just like because I have bad anxiety, and so this whole thing going on has not been good for my anxiety. And so they just like really help me with that. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I hope you tell them that.
I will. Yeah. Because I think like I've told them before, but I will make sure they know that. So yeah, so just thank you so much for calling in. I had so much fun talking to you. I don't want to hang up. So
Thanks, Maya. Thanks for having me. This has been really fun.
Yeah, Reid, thanks for making the time today. And we always tell our friends, if you ever find yourself in the Denver area, you have a standing invitation to the Seacrest Studios here.
Love Denver. Love Denver. I got a bunch of friends in Denver. I'm a ski bum.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We expect to see you sometime.
You got it. Next time I know I'm coming in, I'll give you guys a heads up.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, my family and I are bad Coloradans because we've never been skiing. So
What?
Never too late. Never too late.
All right. Well, Reid, you're going to have to make up for their lack of skiing with more skiing.
You got it.
All right. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Reid.